Thank you, Miss Illinois. You just, I don't know. What would I do without you? You're just the best. Yeah, that's my obsessive side coming out this night, yo. If something doesn't go the way I expect it to, I am constantly obsessing about it. But it is what it is. Hi, everyone. Hello, Epic Movement. I love the emphasis on the Samuels. How are you, my sweet dearest birthday mate? We're going on a trip together. I'm not going to tell you guys where we're going. Now, let me tell you something. I think we got your stuff. I will let you know. But I think I saw your name. I'm breaking up really, really bad. Hi, everybody. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok family. How's everybody doing? Happy week. Can y'all believe it's this is like it's a salt and pepper hair for me. Thank you. I've been thinking, y'all. I'm not surprised if we're going on a trip. Don't tell them where we're going. Don't say anything where we're going. But y'all, don't be surprised. Come January 1st, if you see me with I won't tell you what I'm flooding. I was asking TJ, like, should I do this? He goes, why would you want to do that? You're gonna love kids. They will let you know. Yes, we're going on a trip. We'll send y'all photos when we get there. You'll figure it out, but not before. I said, CJ, what do you think if I do this? He goes, why would you want to do that? Because I can. Don't do anything funny. I cannot promise you that. I don't know. I'm just itching to do something different. Nothing wrong with what I have, but you know how there's some things in my life that it gets to a point where I'm like, but this is convenient. I'm not a hair person. I'm just not somebody who's gonna get up in the morning and spend 30 minutes on hair. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I'd rather do that 30 minutes extra in bed. That didn't come out right. Like in sleeping, getting extra sleep than trying to figure not gonna happen. Hi everyone, this is attorney Abisola Adepola Olale, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Coming in, let's talk immigration. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case type that I handle, we can and do represent immigration clients regardless of the state you live in. It doesn't matter what state you're in, as long as it's an immigration case. Immigration is federal practice, so that means I can represent you no matter what state you live in. So this week I've had representation in Atlanta, 2 cases in Atlanta and 1 case in Ohio, and I'm in Alabama. So go figure. If you need to contact our office, if you're on Instagram, Miss Illinois got you. For those on for Facebook and YouTube, you've got it on the screen. It's scrolling across the screen. TikTok family, it is 334-341-4475 is our contact number. info@olalayalawfirm.com. That's the email. olalayalawfirm.com is a website. Very, very easy website to browse. Lots of information as well. And you can also contact us on WhatsApp via text messaging. Same number, 334-341-4475. You can send a text to that same number, regular text to the same number. Someone will or call us directly. We will be glad to answer. Well, to set up a consultation because we don't provide it, but myself will be happy to give you whatever preliminary information you need about working with our firm. So we've got approvals this week. We're starting to get the 5-year work permits. So that's good. And so for those who were asking, because, when they started this, I was like, I don't know. We're just going to have to wait to see whether or not the advanced parole, if you file together and they give you a combo card, if USCIS was still going to continue with issuing a combination card, meaning advanced parole and EAD together, or were they going to bifurcate the EAD and then separate that from the advanced parole, but we got a couple today where it's still a combo card. Now, I got one EAD today that was not, even though we filed together, they did not issue a combo card in this case, and her I-131 application is still pending. But they did not issue a combination card, but it was a 5-year work permit. The others that we got were 5-year work permits issued together. Card also says that it also serves as I-512, which is an advanced parole travel permit, which is also good for 5 years. So yes, I can confirm that as long as it's a combination card that you're issued, then USCIS is also extending your advanced parole, and your approval notice that comes with that will also show that it's for a duration of 5 years. So that is awesome news. We love good news. We love good news. Finest Shandy, your file is right here. Nursing it. I'm just getting back to seeing what's going on, because this week was all about interviews. It's like I didn't know what was going on coming. And then I had to be in criminal court. Yeah, so. And then I had to pay my taxes, because I did extension. And so this week was paying what was left. And so it's not, this week is not the week to get on my last nerves. No, because, yeah. Now you come to the U.S. and they keep asking to pay taxes. Like, can you watch the U.S., watch the ship phone? Anyway, let me leave that alone. But anyway, come on in, everyone. It's questions night. So today is the third. Yeah, I think this is the third live. Yes, every third live show, I'll try to do questions unless it's something we have to talk about that I think is important to know. Talking about something important to know. So for y'all in Texas, I'm not trying to scare you, but yes, I will be in touch with you latest for Monday. Because once I'm done today, y'all, I'm shutting down this weekend. It's been a long week. I am just, because y'all know that lawyers actually have the amen from your mouth to God's ears. Lawyers have the highest rate of mental illness, suicide, and addiction when it comes to professional occupations. That's just the truth. So it is important that I take care of my mental health. Non-negotiable. I've got to. Hi, Miss Savannah. Got to take care of that, because then like I said, I'm a full-time mother. Raising TJ is a job on its own. Right, T? But I would not trade it for it. My kid is the life of our family. Like, my kids, my boys, I always say I love them equally, but I love them differently because they're different. They have different personalities. So TJ is the spice of our family. Like, you gotta love that kid. Sometimes I'm at work and I just think of something, I just start laughing. Or in court, I feel like, because we like, jeez, you gotta you gotta love my kid. So so yes, it's been a long week and I just have to shut it down and just regroup. But anyway, it's questions night, so bring on your questions, put them on the screen. Now it's time to a night of questions. Let's talk about your questions. And before we get to questions, important information. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm telling you, overall well-being. It's about, my kid was like, "Are you okay?" Because it was like, "You look worn." I was like, "Yeah." If your kid, kids really don't. But if they notice something, then But anyway, but today's a much better day. Like, Tuesday was crappy. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm naturally energized. Like, I don't even drink coffee. I bounce off the wall. But there is this new law that is questions night. Yay! That is being passed in the state of Texas. I'm trying to scare you guys. I'm just trying to give you information so you're aware. The Texas state. Let me see if I can bring it up for you real quick so I can talk about it. There is this guy, and I think he is. You already know, even as many immigrants live in the state of Texas, it's still a red state. And so there are a lot of anti-immigrant people in the state of Texas. And that means that even the government is anti-immigrant for the most part. It's a red state. Let's call it spade a spade. So there is this, let's see. I want to say he is one of the senators. I'm trying to make sure. Yes, he is one of the state senators, Brian Birdwell. So if you're wondering who it is, Brian Birdwell, he is a state senator in the state of Texas. And he is the one who sponsored this bill. And in a nutshell, what the bill will do is to make it a crime for anyone who enters the state of Texas illegally by crossing the border, or if anyone that the state police suspect to be present in the state of Texas illegally. How they're going to carry that out, I'm not really sure, because there is no state that has its own immigration law. Immigration is federal practice. And whenever there is a conflict between state and federal laws, federal law would always prevail. That is what the Constitution is very clear about. However, these states keep finding ways to come up with, just like Florida did and the rest of their own economy, they keep finding ways to just frustrate immigrants. So this is a new one now. Now, it hasn't become law in the state yet. Hear me loud and clear. It's not law, but it has advanced. I think actually this evening, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just trying to read through that. So basically, in a nutshell, what it would do is there are people who oppose it, but what it would do is if it becomes law in the state of Texas, it will criminalize anyone that crosses the border illegally. It would make that, you can be jailed. And being jailed means that that gives them the authority or the right to now call ICE, and then that means you're going to be placed in deportation proceedings. And if someone is arrested and the person actually has a criminal record, then they will be charged with a felony. It's a ridiculous bill, but it's still a way of they claim they want to rid the state of illegal immigrants. And it's not just going to be limited to those who cross the border illegally. It's going to be extended to those, give authority to the police to arrest anyone they feel that is illegally present in the state of Texas. I anticipate that the federal government will challenge that, because that is almost like making a state law to criminalize illegal immigration. There's already federal law. I will be surprised if the federal government does not challenge that. But just so you're aware, if you live in the state of Texas, not to make you afraid, but just so you're aware of what is going on. Once again, it has not become the law. It is in process of becoming law. Once it passes, hopefully not, but if I wouldn't say once, if it passes, I will be sure to let you guys know, so at least you're informed and know what's going on when you leave. So the more you know, people. All righty. Bring on your questions. Let us tackle those questions tonight. Question. No. Tonight, bring it on. Let's talk about it. Okay. Hello, Miss Giwa. How are you? Happy Thursday. How are my kids doing? Hello, Zainab. How are you? I received only work permit for 5 years, but it is not combo card. That's what I said earlier. They're not, even before the 5-year thing started, which only started September 27. So if you had your case approved before September 27, even and you're still waiting on your card, you're still going to get a 2-year work permit. But even before the 5-year validity of work permit was announced, not every work permit and advanced parole application filed were going to be combined. They have started bifurcating that for months now. So it's not unusual And it's not surprising that you're getting, just like I said, we got one of our cases we filed together, but it was not issued as a combination card. So there's nothing that says they have to issue it as a combination card. And I think the one thing I want to see is, for instance, my client, we have the EAD is 5 years. I want to see if a standalone advanced parole will be for 5 years, or is it going to be for a year? I'll let you guys know. So we're all just looking at all of this together. So we'll see what they do. Is a travel permit separate? If your card says not valid for re-entry, then obviously it's not a combination card. Yeah, but the first time I applied for both and I received this week only work permit note. Yes, it is. Hear me loud and clear. There is nothing that says it's got to be, they have to issue a combination card. They started issuing a combination card because it makes it a lot easier. So you're not carrying a travel document and then a work permit. Everything wasn't just in one. But because of the backlog, USCIS started bifurcating those two applications, where even if you file them together, they are issuing, approving them separately if they're able to approve your work permit faster, and then your advanced parole comes later. So it's not surprising. There's nothing unusual about that. Hi, I gave. Let's see. I gave additional evidence and they received it. Now, how many months give me the decision? Okay, so if I understand what you're asking, MS, I don't want to say your phone because I don't know if it's a VAR case. You're welcome, Zainab. Are you saying that you got a request for evidence? You've submitted the response to the request for evidence, and now you're waiting on the decision, and your question is how long is it going to take them to make a decision on your case? Is that what you're asking? That's what makes sense to me. Yo, I love when I have my energy back. It's like bring it on. Is that what you're asking before I move on to? Okay, I don't know. It depends. A lot of factors. What it is that they ask for, what kind of case it is, what office is working in your case. Did you have an interview before? There's a lot of factors that goes into that. We had an interview about a month ago where she's waiting on them to make a decision. So I usually give it 60 days at the very least. They usually say 120 days, but maximum under 20 days. Once we hit that 6 months period, I'm like, okay, what's going on, people? Check my when it was, and some of our clients are like, I don't want to rock it in boat. I'm just going to let it be. I have my work permit. I'm not in a hurry. It's each their own. So yeah, but I cannot tell you how long it's going to take. There's a lot of factors, or there are a lot of factors that go into, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Okay, so y'all, what I tell you, let me tell you something, y'all. The fact that there are some people in our lives that God will put in our lives that will give you some gift. So somebody gave me a massage, and it was not a professional. But when I tell you that, and I was just thinking because now I need them, I think I need one. But I just remembered that, I've paid for massages before, especially when I'm on vacation. But I got a massage from someone, just a favor. And I completely forgot that I was not in the profession. It wasn't a professional masseuse. That's how good that massage was. And I'm like, can I get another one? free of charge. But I'm thinking massage. That's why I brought that up, because I think that's what I actually need. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Mr. Badness. How are you? Thank you, Lauren, for sharing. I do appreciate that very, very much. Okay. I got my conditional green card and my VA is pending. What can I do? Well, if you got your conditional green card, then I think it will be, you already have a green card. You filing the VA is you saying you don't have a green card yet. So if they've already issued you a green card, then what makes sense for you to do? Disclaimer: general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. This is just you cannot base whatever decision you want to make on what I'm saying tonight. This is not legal advice. It's just general information. If it helps you, great. If you need anything specific to your case, that is a proper paid consultation that you have to schedule. But in your case, if you were my client, what the suggestion will be is to withdraw the VA petition. And I'm hoping you're talking about a regular VA case, a 9360, right? Because you just got your conditional green card. And now file to remove the conditions on your residency based on abuse, which you can file. You don't have to wait 2 years. So if you got your conditional residency card today, that same day you can file to remove the conditions of your residency, because you're filing as a self petitioner and not filing jointly with your spouse. So that's the route you need to go, because you've already been issued a green card, and you are a green card holder, rather than waiting on a VA petition that will now require you to file for a green card. I hope that makes sense. Do you review documents if a client fills everything out on their own? No, I do not. Can you get married to a citizen while you're in asylum process and get a green card? Generally, yes. How long is cancellation removal written decision taken? It depends on the court, depends on the judge. I love your lipstick. Is that a MAC? It's not. It is the last. ladies, y'all understand. You know how you have a favorite lipstick and you hold on to the very last, very last, right? So it is a brand that I've worn for so many years. I'm the kind of person, once I find something that works for me, I can try different things, but I always come back to it. I don't like to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my MO. It's Milani Devotion, Milani. So holding on to the last part of my that last lipstick tube and scraping it, and yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. I can always tell the difference because it's my absolute favorite, but that's it. It's gone. But it's been discontinued. Okay. How long will USCIS take to respond to RFE for medical? There's no set time. And a lot of people ask me that question. We just sent 2 RFE responses for medical examination out today. And I told my client upfront, we may still be waiting here 60, 90 days. There is no set time. There's nothing that says it has to be, they have to approve your case just because you responded to RFE. Yeah, y'all have to remember, we're dealing with USCIS. So, but miracles happen. But just yeah. I had biometrics last Thursday, and today I got approved for advanced parole and work permit. Great, awesome. What is your question? How long does it really take after USCIS receives medical exam to set up I-45 interview? That's another question I can answer. And it will still depend on if they decide to set up an interview. Now, one thing I'm seeing, people, is this. Let me just based on that question, let me let you know this. USCIS announced that they're going to be waiving interviews, right? And they also announced that in order to speed up the processing of your case and help them to decide to exercise discretion of waiving your interview, include your medical examination when you submit your case. And especially now that the civil surgeon's signature is going to be valid for much longer now. And they've been doing that fine. What they've started doing again, however, is even after you have been sent a request for the I-693 medical examination report, they are still exercising discretion to schedule interviews in certain cases. So you may get an RFE and feel like, okay, yes, that's indication, which it is in some cases, that they're going to waive an interview, but they still have a right to schedule an interview for you in spite of sending an RFE for your medical, especially if they feel there's something in your record that's going to make you inadmissible when it comes to your I-45, or you've got a prior record and something in your record may make them feel like maybe your new marriage was a sham marriage, and then they want to bring you in to see your body language, to hear what you have to say, to know what you and your spouse, if they're going to separate you. There's a lot of reasons why they may still schedule an interview in spite of them sending an RFE for your medical and thinking that it's going to be waived. Yeah. Does USCIS on abuse of parents need to occur after age 21 for violent case, or just file after age 21? The reason is because a child under the age of 21 that is a citizen cannot petition for a parent. That child has to be at least 21 years or older. And so the filing is what is relevant is the filing has to occur after the child is if the child is 21 years or older. Can I get a divorce without my husband? I don't know of any state that's going to let you get a divorce without first trying to serve the person. Every single state in the United States, you've got to make an attempt to effect service on the other party. That's just what the U.S. process is. The other party has to be put on notice. Now, is it possible to get an expedited, the one-sided divorce, unilateral divorce? Yes, but there is still the requirement to serve the person. So, for instance, in my state, in the state of Alabama, you have to try to serve the other person that you're getting a divorce from at the last known address. If it comes back that they've moved, you have no idea where they live, whatever case may be, then we do what we go to the court and permission. We ask for permission, leave of court, to serve them by publication. So basically, we're going to serve them for 4 straight weeks in a newspaper saying, hey, I'm getting divorced from you wherever you are. This is the last place I need you. You leave that, respond. If there's no response, then you get a default judgment. So that's how the procedure goes. So asking if you can get a divorce without your husband is not like you can just decide, okay, no, that's it. Let's see. I said that y'all just repeating the same question. If my husband is in Mexico with 10-year punishment and waiting for a waiver, can he apply for any parole? I don't do cases when someone has been deported. How long does the fiancé process take? No less than 15 months from start to finish, keeping in mind that the I-129F itself may take 12 to 15 months for them to approve, given the time frame they're going with now. And it may be shorter. It just depends. Okay. I'm late, but I just heard you talk about Texas. What is the news around? Just that there is an immigration bill, because states think they can make an immigration bill. Immigration is federal practice. No state has the authority to pass an immigration bill. It's got to be something that still conforms with the federal law, the Immigration Nationality Act. It's got to conform with it. But what they're trying to do is to give authorization to state police in the state of Texas to arrest people that cross the border illegally or that they suspect are living in the state of Texas illegally. I make it a first offense, especially for those who cross the border. First offense to be a misdemeanor. Unless a person has a criminal history, then it's a felony. And then that gives them the authority or the right to call ICE and then, end up in deportation. It's very, very clear. I just want to be clear. It hasn't become law yet, but it made, it advanced on the floor of the Senate in Texas. So it's looking like it's gaining ground, just so you guys are aware. Yes, it's a process. What about immigration? What about it? Look at here. Thank you. I need to watch it down here. Okay, so you got your conditional residency card and your I-360 is already approved. Is that what you're saying? How long does that jumped? What did that jump to? Oh boy. Hold on 1 second. Hey T. Okay, I see it. Your last name is Sin. I won't say your first name. So Sin is a very common name. So don't come for me. Your I-360 is approved, but you now got your conditional residency card. Is that what you're saying? And I'm going to go through the other questions if you come back and let me know. What kind of benefits? What can we get benefits with prima facie on IRS? What do you mean on IRS? For them to give you taxes? If anyone can find a way, or for them to give you back money, that IRS will give you back money, please sign me up. Because, yeah. What does cancellation for request of additional document mean without any formal RFP on 400? Cancellation for request of... I don't understand what you're asking. How long does it take for VAT approval? VAT approval generally takes about 3 years. Talking about approval. I just remembered something. That's my box of pins right there. Hearing like that. I wish I did. Okay, I'll do that later. Okay. How do you know if you are inadmissible even if you recently received renewal of green card? If you're inadmissible, you would not have had a green card to start with. Being inadmissible is to determine whether or not they should give you the green card. So if you already have your green card and you receive the renewal of it, then that's not anything that generally you should worry about. Don't know anything about your case. I'm just saying. Can you tell me who does your hair? That would be me. It's pretty simple. I think I see my client, but it's not an immigration client. It's another kind of case client. JD, is that you? Or am I seeing double? You follow me on this on TikTok. I'll do other areas of law as well. Which state are you in? Can you work with someone in Texas? Yes, I have so many clients in Texas actually, but I'm based in Alabama. But because immigration is federal practice, I can represent any client in any state, immigration client in any state. Seven-months VAR applied biometrics done 2 months ago. Still no EAD. It's taking them an average of 11 months to approve work permits. So 7 months is not a long time based on processing time. Okay. Can a felon file for someone? Having a felony conviction does not prevent you from being able to file an I-130 petition for a spouse or a relative, but USCIS still has discretion to decide whether or not they will approve your petition. And if you are someone who has been convicted of any crime that falls within the Adam Walsh Act, a sexual offense, that is generally a basis by which they will not approve the I-130 you file on behalf of a relative. There are exceptions to that, but it's hard to get around that. Does getting citizenship become easier, harder, depending on who is in the White House? I think generally immigration process and all of this is all about politics. Let's call it spade a spade. Y'all, we're about a year away from election year. I would anticipate that things may start getting a lot easier because those in power want to stay in power. And the way you can get to stay in power, especially because Democratic president is in now, is to approve more cases for people so they can become citizens and they can vote. And it will be the same, but it's a lot. Democrats obviously are more immigrant friendly than Republicans are. That is just the truth. But that's usually what we see whenever there is going to be an election years coming up. They are trying to get as many votes as possible. So the more citizenship applications they approve before then, the better for the party in power. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, let me hold on 1 second. See, it's a lot. It makes it very hard when people just repeat the questions because then I'm sifting through. I'm trying to see where I. Oh. Okay, there it is. Okay, my husband got a record, but his green card renewal was approved and sent. Can he travel? If they sent is once again general information, don't hold anything that I say and say, hey, an immigration lawyer said no. But generally, unless it's something that is a deportable offense, the fact that someone has a record does not make them deportable. It has got to be a deportable offense. So if he recently sent in his renewal and he was approved, then two things. Either they did not take a look if it's a deportable offense, then they did not really review his record, or they reviewed his record and it's not a deportable offense, so there's no reason to place him in deportation. So the fact that you have a green card does not mean they can't refer you to immigration court. Green card is not a deterrent to you being placed in removal proceedings. It's just going to be deportation, because then you're not here illegally because you already have permanent residency. But if you commit a deportable offense, then you can be placed in deportation proceedings. Filed concurrently, but makes a question on I-130 concerning adjusting in the U.S. A consular. Is it going to be an issue? Because you filed concurrently, sometimes they may exercise discretion to say, well, you submitted concurrent filing, so they would assume. But it's USCIS. They may want to make things difficult. You just never know. But I would anticipate that they will not make that big deal or send you an RFE to filing an I-485 already says that you're here. You want to adjust status. It's just the same way if you had initially indicated that, or if your petition had indicated that you're going to be applying for immigrant visa at the embassy, and then you come in and then you file the 485. You're not going to ask them to change it. You're just going to submit, and that tells them that you're here. So hopefully that's what happens. That's what happens in your case. Forgot to take gender on I-765. Will it be rejected? They may send you an RFE because they have to indicate your gender on your EAD card. But since you filed everything concurrently, hopefully they will use, this is just hoping, because it's USCIS. I have another name I call them, I almost say it on live. But I hope that you checked your gender on the other forms, like your 485. So hopefully that will indicate what your gender is. I have an interview scheduled. Can you go with me and live in India? I don't know. I don't even know your case. I don't know anything about your case, so I can't tell you I'm going with you. The first thing you have to do will be to set up a paid consultation, first of all, to evaluate your case and if it's a case type that I'm going to be getting myself into. Do you help with citizenship in California? Help with citizenship in any state? I filed asylum and I've gone for biometrics. All was done with immigration consultant. Okay, so what's your question? Divorce on conditional green card granted September 2023. I'm moving out in 2 days. This is due to abuse. Do I notify USCIS? No. What you do is to file your I-751. And hear me loud and clear, people. If you're filing an I-751 based on divorce or abuse, you do not have to wait 2 years, because generally you get your conditional green card, then you wait 2 years and you file with your spouse. That's the general law. If you're filing without your spouse, you're filing a self petition based on divorce, based on extreme hardship, based on abuse, there is no requirement to wait for 2 years. You can file for your 10-year green card 751 at any time. So you can file your 751 right now, but you don't have to notify USCIS about. The way you notify them is by filing the 751 as a self petitioner. Can a person travel domestically with an international passport, especially Texas and Florida? I guess. Just as long as you're aware of those, what's going on in the states. Can an F2 spouse in the U.S. apply for national interest whether based on educational qualifications? You can. And if you if it gets approved, or not, if I'd like to say when it gets approved, and then right now it's not current, so you're going to have to wait a little bit. So the priority can become current for you to file your green card application. Okay. All right. Let me go to. Can we put in application for citizenship and travel to Africa for a month while we wait? As long as you don't break the physical presence requirement as well as the continuous residency requirement, then you should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Femi. How are you? Do you have to receive a receipt notice before the prima facie notice after you file for your VAR? They normally would send you a receipt because that's your confirmation that your case has been received. So I would say yes. I mean, how would you? Because unless you just didn't receive the receipt notice, but your receipt notice will come first before your prima facie notice comes. Thank you. I transferred my old case to VAR I-360. I contacted agent from USCIS and they told me that my I-485 is in the field office here in New York. So what will happen in this case? They will just, as long as it's being held, then it will just be held until your VAR petition is approved. And once it's approved, then they will adjudicate the 45 at that point. Just leave it like that. I like it. I'm sure there's others who do. I'm telling you, my my kids get tired because there's nowhere. Sometimes I forget. I'm like, there is no way I go that I don't get somebody say, "What is that? Your hair?" And so I'm like, how do you get your color to mix out? Like, what color? You really think I'm gonna sit down and put gray in my hair? Like, seriously? I know some people do it, but no, it's not. That's no. But I don't know. I'm just someone I'm not afraid of getting older. I've never been. And if anything, it is, it's grace. Just thank God for the ability. So, and did I usually color my hair at some point? Yeah. But when I turned 40, for real people, when I turned 45 years ago, I was like, you know what? You either like me the way I am or you don't. If my gray hair bothers you, keep it moving. My hairstyle, the natural hair you don't like, keep it moving. So, but the funny thing is, it's amazing how many compliments I get on it. But like, it's not that serious. It's just hair. And I know, and I appreciate that. But you get some each sometimes, and you want to do something different. Tony _ 876. What's your question? Welcome. Shook mouth. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. So again, that's a question we get all the time. Can you represent immigration clients? I'm in Texas, I'm in California, I'm in New York. Yes. As long as an attorney is licensed in a state and they practice immigration law, they can represent you in any state. So I am licensed in Alabama and New York, but I'm physically present in Alabama. So eventually, knock on wood, God willing, we're going to have an office in New York. I don't know when, but I know it's going to happen. So we got to speak it before we see it. I know it's going to happen. But I'm in Alabama because I still share custody of my youngest kid, my TJ, my baby, who's bigger than me, way bigger than I am, but he's still a baby, with my ex-husband. So I ain't moving anywhere anytime soon because he's 13. we still have a ways to go before he turns 18. No lies. Um, so I'm saying so, but it doesn't stop me from representing you regardless of the state you live in. WhatsApp, yes, we don't, no calls on WhatsApp. It's just for text messages. If you need to talk to somebody, you've got to call our office line directly. Love it. I love my girls, I'm telling you. We're here for all day, every day. Good news. My case is pending for like 9 months now. The only thing I received is my work permit and Social Security. My husband's grandfather died in Jamaica, September 7. What's the rest up there? Okay, let's see. Congratulations. I'm telling you. Thank you, Isabella. Health is wealth. This, I mean, 𝐸𝐸𝐿, if you don't have your health, no amount of money can give you good. I mean, you've got to take care of yourself for well-being. Yes. TJ is our virtual buddy too. I gotta love Mike. I'm telling my kid. There's just a special bond between that kid and his mama. And same thing with my oldest kid. They're just so similar but so different. And I just love to watch them, especially when they go at each other at this age too. It's motherhood is just amazing. Thank God it's a privilege, and I thank God for the privilege of being able to experience that. Does EAD renewal under that category get a new plastic card or just a receipt notice? When you say EAD renewal under that category, that it depends on what you're asking or what you mean, because you may be referring to EAD C9, even though you have a VAR case, it's not based on VAR, but based on your I-485. Or you have an approved VAR petition, and then you're referring to a C31 EAD, which either way, it's a plastic. It's not paper. You get a plastic card. Tony _876. Your question is not complete. What exactly? So what is your question? You stated what's going on, but what's the question you have? Yeah. Thank you, Finest Jenny. Let's see. I-130 is taking longer than expected. What can I do? You can ask to expedite if you have grants for that, but everything is taking longer than expected. It's frustrating because you got clients who call you and like, I wish do you understand, y'all, that sometimes I wish I could just go into the office and say, people now. Like, do you understand? People's lives are being held on hold or placed on hold based on y'all just coming here and strolling in, and it's just another day for you. A lot of millions of people's lives are being placed on hold because y'all cannot just get work done. But we know you can't get work done because we've seen them approve things real fast. When you decide to approve a VAR case in 5 months, we know you can't. So why are we waiting 3 months for something that you can do in 5 months? But it is what it is, people. It is what it is. I applied for renewal of my work authorization. Are they going to send a receipt to me? Generally, they should. All questions answered for informational purposes only. For case-specific advice, you have to set up a consultation, 334-341-4475. And if you're waiting on an email from me, please bear with me. I probably would respond by tomorrow. It's not going to be tonight unless it's something that I have down. But no, I'm just going to apply for I-485 September 1st. Priority date is December 2019. How soon should I expect my green card? I-130 applied in December 2019 and approved July 2023. I would say, just give yourself some time to prepare your mind for about a year. I'm not saying that's how long it's going to take, but just based on your case facts and compared to what similar cases in my firm, that's what we're seeing. So. Tony _876. Once again, you stated facts. You didn't ask a question. What is your question? But that's the thing. She didn't ask the question. What is your question? How long does it take receipt of acknowledgement for valid petition? I can tell you that since August, cases that we've been filing, I don't think I have any that has taken more than 30 days to get the receipt notice. Let me knock on wood. So I think they're making progress. Just knock on wood again. That's what I'm saying. But then again, I always put anointing oil on this. I'm sure some of these USCIS offices will get like, what the heck? Why is this oily? It's not like I drink it. I just, Jesus. I'm a nurse here in America. Can any agency file for me, even though my visa is expired? If your visa is expired, that means you've overstayed. A lot of agencies will tell you they can, but the truth of the matter is, if you've overstayed, especially if you've overstayed for more than 180 days, you're not going to be able to get your green card without having to leave the country and filing a waiver of the unlawful presence and getting that approved before you leave the country. Apply for asylum already. Have my work permit. Is it possible to apply for parole? I want to go on vacation with my citizen kids. Is it possible for me to apply for it? Yes, you can, but you just can't go back to the country you're seeking asylum from. Okay. Answer that. Hello, Mr. Gray. How are you? How long does it take to file for a sibling till Jesus comes back? That's the truth. 15 years. They're working on cases received in 2007 or filed in 2007. 15, 16 years. Yeah. So there's no telling. Rapture like before that happens, that's how long it's taken. It's ridiculous. You think because siblings of, I don't know why that is the law, but siblings of citizens, why is it taking that? That's just what the law is. I withdrew my VAR case because there's a mistake in my storyline. Will there be an issue if I put the documents in again? I cannot tell you there will be an issue. What I can advise or suggest for you is to get a lawyer this time around if you didn't get a lawyer the first time around. Okay. Yeah, Uncle Sam give free money. I'm not even going to guess that. Let's just leave that alone. All right, Mr. Hamid, I will be waiting, looking forward to that. But for 2025, there will be so many good news. Amen, Mr. Dana. Amen. We've got to listen. Do we get denials? Any attorney who tells you that they never get denials in their office, two things: either they are lying through their teeth, or they choose cases that is going to be easy for them to win. I don't know how to do that. I am by nature a fighter. That's just how God created me. I can argue with a wall. Like, you don't want to argue with me. Let's just put it that way. You don't. But I have the attention span of a 2-year-old, and I love challenges. I love to take on things that look impossible. That is just me. That's just who I am. So, but does it mess me up completely? Because my whole day is just Yes, denal is just like, oh, just even don't forget about it. They contact me the next day. Does that mean I won't take that kind of case again? No, because I just don't know how to accept the loss. I will try again. Um, so it's always good to just know that as long as we have many more of great news than denials, hopefully not, because it's never, or nobody wants the case to be denied. Especially when, because I'm very hard on myself. That's just by nature. I'm a Leo baby. We're not perfectionists, but we wanted everything to go right. So I'm very hard on myself. Like, I am, some of my clients will tell you, I'm sending emails at 2 a.m. and telling you, hey, I got to get this before noon. I want to get things done the right way. And so I know what I put in everybody's work. If you cannot call me and not have an update on your case, I know what's going on in your case. Most of the delay is usually on my end because I just have to do a final review before anything leaves my office. So I know what goes into each person's case. And so if we get a denial, it is very, very heartbreaking. It takes me days to get. I may not show you, but it takes me days. I just don't know how to function, and then some of us just don't know how to take a loss because we're conditioned our mind that we have to win, and it doesn't mean. And like I've learned that it's a failed plan it's not a failed God, so that's what keeps me going. But Ms. Abena, I agree with you in faith, and I know a lot of people agree with you. And so shall it be. Once again, Tony_876, you did not ask a question. You stated facts that you just got the work permit and social security card, no parole. You want your husband's grandfather issue with Jamaica. What is your question? Okay. Can a person get work permit without seeking asylum? You've got to have a basis to get a work permit. Who can file mandamus with asylum? I mean, if you have I used to do it. I don't do it anymore. So if you have an attorney who can help you file that, then you can. Can someone that already got EAD almost 2 years ago and green card approved, but defers 4 years, apply for advanced parole? Green card approved. If the green card is approved, I'm not sure I understand the question. The first 4 years, apply for advanced. What if you have a green card? Why are you applying for advanced? I don't understand the question. Finance. Maybe rephrase that question. Thank you, Ms. Abena. Hi, Miss Tammy. How are you? I sent you an email earlier this afternoon, I think. What are the requirements for VA? Qualifying relationship, shared residency, good faith, suffered abuse, physical presence, good moral character. Is it true that if you apply for I-360 and I-485, you don't get a prima facie, you only get your EAD? Who says? Now, I-360, if you're talking about a VA petition, because I-360 form is used for other things as well. Finance, I don't understand what you're asking in your question. I don't, if you can rephrase it, I don't understand the question. I got my prima facie determination June. Please, when should I be expecting my VA approval? 3 years from June. Just being okay. Okay, my question is, I get an appointment for my expedite on my money because I want to go with his. Are you asking if you can get an expedited appointment for the I-131, or are you saying you already have it scheduled for Monday? So you said my question is, I get an appointment for my expedite on my I-131 on Monday because I want to go with him to Jamaica for his grandfather's. So are you telling me that you already have it, or you're asking if you can get one on Monday? Okay, so you already have. So, but what is still your question? What are you asking? I'm not really sure. So what is your question? She got an approval notice on her green card, but is deferred for 4 years. Can she apply for advanced parole? We don't know why they said. She's got to sit down with the lawyer. Something is not adding up. Miss Illinois, you think? Something is not adding up. She has to sit down. Whoever this is has to sit down with the lawyer and explain that this is not a yes, no kind of question. No. This is something I need to. There's a whole lot of missing parts that needs to be figured out why. It's not adding up to me. It's just not adding up. Okay. All right. I know it's question 9, but I also need to. Yes, there's a whole lot of missing parts that it's not. Yeah. Okay. Amen, Mr. Darren. I'm hoping that we hear from them soon on yours, because it's y'all don't even understand how much sometimes I'm in my office and I'm like, what is USCIS? Like, is it that they have this, they go to certain parts of the country and select certain kind of people? Like, why y'all just want to frustrate immigrants? Like, is that a goal? That's what I'm what is the question? But it takes a lot of patience to do this kind of work, because I asked my current lawyer if I will be getting a prima facie for my VA, and he said that since I got my EAD, USCIS will not send a prima facie. That's incorrect. Your EAD has nothing to. Prima facie is, we've seen your case, and face value initial review doesn't make a prima facie case. If it does, they send that to you. I've got at least 7 that came in today, and some of them have their EADs already, some don't. I have a vacancy we filed, and the EAD came in 3 months, but that's an unusual timeline because we're just getting the prima facie after 5 months. But you getting an EAD has nothing to do with your prima facie. They have nothing to do with each other. Prima facie has to do with we've initially reviewed your case. Doesn't make a prima facie case face value. If it answers yes, they issue you that you can use to get the state and federal benefits, FAFSA, Medicaid. It has nothing to do with your EAD. So that's absolutely incorrect. That much. Tell your lawyer I said that is incorrect. That's not even true. Please miss me with that one. That's not true. You need like the Jesus kind of patience to deal with USCIS. Is it true that if you are on asylum and you get married, you have a 70-30 ratio for having parole on your? If you're Mookie Crown, are you asking if you are on asylum in the sense that you have a court case, not affirmative asylum pending, you have a court case pending, and then you get married and then you apply for advanced parole, then whether or not they're going to grant you advanced parole because you're removal proceedings, 70-30% ratio. If that's what you're asking, then kind of, because there's no rhyme or reason with USCIS and there's no consistency. I have people who are actually in removal proceedings and have asylum, or they have another reason for being there. They filed adjustment of status based on marriage, and they filed I-131, and they were approved, and some were denied because they're in removal proceedings. So, so your question is, because it's your husband's grandfather. Thank you for asking the question. Would they grant you the advanced parole? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I can't tell whether they will grant you the advanced parole, but it is an emergent situation because that is your husband's family. And I mean, it makes sense that at the time of his bereavement for his family, you want to be there with your husband. So I would anticipate that they will grant that to you. But whether or not they will grant you, whether it's a yes or no, I can't tell you that. You're going to have to wait till Monday and see. Hopefully they grant that to you. No, there's some things that I don't ever say, hey, lawyer, like those who were my clients are like, if you say, hey, lawyer comes up, we're like, okay. I'm like, all right. Because I may say something and like that, I know she doesn't know what she's saying. And that's okay. But on this one, no. EAD has nothing to do with prima facie determination. If they're going to tell you that they didn't receive it, let them say that. But because you got an EAD means hell, excuse me. You can tell it. No, it's not true. No. Is there a fee for EAD renewal through VA? Depends on which one you're renewing. If you're renewing a C9 based on your green card application and you already paid the I-485 fee, then no. If you're renewing a VA based EAD, meaning your VA has been approved, and you're renewing the C31, then yes. Does your divorce have to be granted on the basis of extreme cruelty for VA, even though your abuser pled guilty to your abuse? No. Even USCIS policy makes it very clear that the fact that your divorce was due to abuse doesn't mean that because there's some states that will not put a fault. It would just be irreconcilable differences or irretrievable breakdown of marriage, depending on your state in the United States. But it does, as long as you have evidence to show that the reason or part of the reason why you got divorced was because of the abuse. Fine, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, I don't think Miss Tony understands lick finger thing. So what can you do if your asylum is still pending 6 years? Ask them to expedite your case. It's a 50-50 chance. Ombudsman inquiry. If all else fails, sue them. It's a C9. Okay, so if you paid for the I-485, the $1,225, you already paid that, and that's still pending, then there is no filing. So the easiest way to know if you're going to be paying for a filing fee or for any application is just go on Google, put in USCIS fee calculator. There's actually a USCIS fee calculator. And it would walk you through that, and then it will tell you whether or not you have to pay a fee for whatever application you want to file. Okay. All right, people. I'm eligible for citizenship in 2024. Can I apply for my husband for a green card? His asylum is pending. Once you become a citizen, then you can file the I-130 now. It's just that he cannot file a green card application. But once you become a citizen, he becomes categorized as an immediate relative, and at that point, he's going to be eligible to adjust status. And then you can look, if it's in court, you can look to seek PD request to terminate based on the fact that, as long as you guys have enough good faith evidence and all that. So, Ilio, because it's like, if your CI is denied to remove the condition on your I-750 because your spouse did not go with you, can you with you. Can you on the interview? Can you refile? Okay. Can you refile? She said she did not want the read. Yes, you can. Short answer, yes. Recently did my AOS interview based on marriage and September 11. And the interview officer said expect your card in the mail within 10 days. Until now, nothing yet. Did they approve the case? If the case has been approved, then call USCIS as you expecting your card and you haven't received it. If it's still pending, then call USCIS and say, hey, this is what we're told. Sometimes they forget. That's what's the truth. Sometimes they move on to the next case and they forget. Some prints were applied to I-31, 31. What's next? Waiting for it to be approved. A work permit that you applied for Kennedy in November 2022, I can tell you that's still within normal processing time. So it's not unusual. It's not even, it's just about 11 months. So it's averaging anywhere from 10 months to 12 months for normal processing time. People get there shorter, but if it's still within that time frame, I can tell you that it's still within normal processing time. 13 months since I filed for my green card. Until now, I have not received either my E80 card nor green card. Cannot sue them. Call them first, though, before you go for firing everybody. But call them first see what you can find out first. Thank you for always giving us hope. Thank God for giving all of us hope. I'd like to have a consultation with you. We will gladly be willing to help you, Ms. Paris. If you'll call my office, we open at 8:30. 334-341-4475. You're on YouTube, so you can see that information across the screen. Or go on the website, and it's once you get on olalayalawfirm.com, it's right there on every page. Just click it. It's very, very easy. Walk yourself through. You see my schedule there, and it's just one click and everything. And then once you're done, you automatically get an email confirmation with your appointment time and your Zoom link. So we make it very, very streamlined. So yeah. Once again, 334-341-4475, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Thank you, as always, everybody, for spending time with me. I do not take it for granted. I was talking to a friend today, and I was like, I raised my kids that it doesn't matter what you think your parents have. They're raised to be grateful for the littlest things people do, because especially when people do not have to do for you. So I have to keep a roof over their head. I have to feed them so the government doesn't come after me. I have to clothe them. Every other thing is a bonus, but other people owe them nothing. So that's the way I try to, because that's the way I was raised, to be very grateful for what people do, especially when they don't have to. You do not have to. Thank you. That you don't have to spend your, and yes, you get information that's true, but a lot of people just come to rejoice with another. It's like, we already have a date every Tuesday and Thursday night. So I don't take it for granted. I appreciate you guys for always showing up, for showing up for me, showing up for everyone else, because we're all in this together. I love to see the stories. I love to hear the stories. I love to be part of the stories, because I've had my story and I know what it feels like. And that's where I was still told this last Tuesday that I should stop answering at the interview. Stop answering questions for your. The guy literally stopped the interview and looked at me like, "Counsel, you need to stop answering the question. The client has to answer." It's like, well, I'm just explaining. Like, no, I don't need you to. I'm not when they give you like, okay, we're about to put your ass out. Excuse my French. Yeah. So I'm still working on that. But I said is my passion just really kicks in. I love to. And if you meet me, you're like, she we're noni, just small, because I'm over 5 foot tall. But I've got a very, very present personality. So don't hold back. I say what I want to say. And Miss Sabina like you. Like Miss Sabina already knows that I'm gonna talk. Right? She's been there. She's like, oh, she's gonna say something. Shannon, you ain't gonna excuse me. Got something to say. Um, and I'm just gonna make you understand why. All right, Miss Savannah, just like, okay. Don't be fooled by the smile. No, I know when to be quiet. Don't get me wrong, but I love what I do because I understand it. I'm telling you, that's it. I understand what it feels like and understand just the anxiety and all that. So for me, it just comes naturally to just jump in or to want to defend or sometimes I call my clients with their approvals and you would think it's my case. The way I would scream on the phone, like, okay, but just because I know that life is going to change, life as it's a new dawn. So whoever is still waiting on their own new dawn, God hasn't forgotten anybody. We're all in this together. Even those some of us have our citizenship now, and that's great. But we live vicariously through others because it takes us back to when we know what it feels like, and so we're able to rejoice with you because we know exactly what that feels like. And I pray that to each and everyone that is still waiting on God's favor, God is the one who will keep fighting for us. We can't fight for ourselves. He's there, advocating on our behalf, even against all hope. Even against all hope, and as long as we just don't lose hope, knowing that we've got the ultimate defender, the ultimate advocate. What do we have to fear? It's human nature to doubt. It's human nature to worry. But it's gonna work out at the end. And just I told one of my clients earlier today, and like, all I ask for you is just please do not lose hope. Because if you get defeated in here, then you've lost the battle. Don't lose hope. God remains God. He's still God who sits upon the throne. And as long as God is still fighting for you, you've got to keep fighting for you. I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.